paid my dues, but I'm working. You don't become an All-American by one game. I didn't become an All-American by one game. I worked hard all through the University of Oklahoma to become an All-American. I'll work hard all through my career as an actor to become the best actor that I can be. It's not going to be, well, I'm going to put it up on the screen one time and that's enough for me, and I expect you to treat me, you know, like the biggest actor in Hollywood. No. Mm-hmm. And it's not about money. This guy thinks it's about money, and unfortunately, fortunately, I don't need the money. You know, it's not about the almighty dollar. It never has been about the almighty dollar. You know, to me, it's more about being able to be attainable to my generation and the generation that's behind me, mm-hmm. and have something that my generation can attach an identity to.
By the way, not all reviews have been bad, and some have been pretty good. Sports Illustrated, for example, last week's issue talked about your performance in Stone Cold right off the bat. Bosworth, who retired from the NFL last year, has been taking acting lessons for 6 years. By all means, he should continue to take them. That said, Sports Illustrated wrote, it must be added that Bosworth is actually not bad. He's relaxed on camera. His timing is good. There's a nice understatement to his delivery. The Boz may not be ready for Shakespeare in the Park, but compared to, say, Steven Seagal, he comes off like Olivier. How good are you right now? How good did you think you were going to be at this point?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I was scared to death that first day. I didn't know what was going to happen that first day, because all of a sudden you're in Hollywood now.
And not a bit part of the league.
Columbia put the whole picture on my shoulders, and that showed me that they cared enough about what I was doing inside, about the preparedness that I had done, mm-hmm. and they could see the dedication that was important to me to pull the film off. It also shows me that that all the things that I've done in my past don't count against me in my future. The word forgiveness has always been, you know, it's there for me, and it should be there for everyone.
All right, let's take a look then at a scene from Stone Cold. This is a scene where you decided to deliver, I guess it was a present to the leader of the Brotherhood. Here it is, Stone Cold with the Boz.
What's that?
It's a little present. I think you're going to need this when we do business.
Hey, what is it? A letter bomb, man? Open that.
Bulletproof vest, man.
This is a government issue, man.
Yeah.
Where did you get it?
They don't play games with me, James. Half my stash is government issue. So's every pistol in this room, including that piece in your pants.
Joey boy, let's try this on. Turn around, let's see how it looks. Turn around. Jump down, turn around. I guess it worked.
Oh, James, my man. Don't ever play games with me, James.
Your man! Your man! I swear! This motherfucker deserves to die! He's mine!
What do you feel like when you see that?
Oh, I laugh, because I know Lance, and he's not like that. I just laugh when I see Lance.
But you must feel a lot of pride. I mean, seriously. I mean, even though people have taken rips at you, big ones too, you put yourself out on the line.
That's why I don't take it serious. It's like it's water on my back, because I know what we did, and I know the product that we have. And nobody can come and stand in front of me and make me believe that what we put on there was fraud. And that's good work. And it may not be Laurence Olivier, but I never claimed to get on the soapbox and say that I was Laurence Olivier. I am no more and no less than I am into myself, and I'll work harder each film to get better. But again, nobody can say that I didn't dedicate my life to do a good piece of work.
And there's no question that as we speak right now, people are coming to see this film. Maybe it's just a curiosity factor right now, but people are coming, and a lot of them. $4 million in 1 week. We're going to come back more with the show Boz in just a few moments. We'll talk about the character, the personality, Brian Bosworth, and the Boz, and what his teammates and former coach had to say about him. It's up close after this.
Brian Bosworth and the Boz. Brian Bosworth was the great player, the leader, 3.5 student that graduated in 3.5 years, a team guy, but then all of a sudden he became the boss. The media created these cameras, the microphone.
The steroids, too?
Well, that enhanced his ability and talents. Of course, steroids do that.
It also ruined his career.
But probably did. Physically, probably ended. He was a great player when he did play. But he was two personalities, and I addressed that. And I thought I did it in the right way as the adult, and he's the child.
Barry Switzer on our show last October. Brian Bosworth, you were trying to watch that show in a bar when it actually took place. You couldn't hear because people were talking. Yeah. You want to respond to that first of all, and then we'll get into Switzer for a few moments? Were there really two people, and did the steroids affect your career adversely?
Well, I don't think steroids affected my career adversely because the type of steroid that I took had nothing to do with physical attributes. It didn't enhance my play at all. They were used strictly for rehabilitation of my injuries. And they were prescribed by a doctor, so they had nothing to do with making me a better player. That only comes from your heart. But as far as the two personalities, the dual personalities, I agree with Barry in the fact that during that time of my life, I was going through an identity crisis, and there were so many things. I was 20 years old, and everybody was telling me I'm the greatest, you're the greatest this, the best thing since sliced bread. Peanut butter doesn't taste as good as you do. Here's a microphone, give me something I can put in my paper.
And you accommodated?
I didn't know. I really didn't know. And unfortunately, the only thing I wish Barry had done was maybe if he had taken me aside and told me, look, they're only using you, man. They're not trying to make you look good at all. They're building you up, and then one day they're going to crack you.
But you used them too, Boz.
I used them too, but not to make me a famous person. No, I was just having fun. When that first thing came out about the Texas Longhorns, I just answered the question honestly. You know, I'm a redneck from Oklahoma, and someone asks, you ask a redneck from Oklahoma how they feel about Fred Akers in Texas, that's an honest answer you're going to get. But I didn't think that it was going to be as sensationalized as it was and start the whole thing. But we had fun with it when we were players. All the players on the team were just laughing.
See, I'm going to take a stab at this. Here's what I think. I think you really feel great regret for having been the boss. I think it cost you a lot. I think you feel that you hurt a lot of people, that maybe you hurt a relationship with your girlfriend who you've known since you're 13 years old, and that if there's one big longing, it was that you couldn't be Brian Bosworth as much as you would have liked to be.
Oh, I wish that I could be Brian Bosworth more than I was. I just wanted to be the Boz on the field for the people in the stand, but I wanted them to let that character go. Once the game was over...
Can't have it both ways, though.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is.
And it's frustrating. It really is frustrating because people don't want to attach an identity to somebody else. I mean, Barry said it best when I took my grades seriously and graduated in 3.5 years. That was serious to me. It wasn't playing a football for the rest of my life. I enjoyed playing it. I was passionate about the game. I was an extension of my childhood fantasy. But I just wanted to, you know, be me. I wanted to be Brian.
After a while, you said this to me earlier today, you lost a lot of your friends. You didn't have a single friend on the Seattle team. I want you to listen to Tony Casillas, former teammate of yours, talking about what the teammates at the time thought of Brian Bosworth and his antics and his showmanship. This is Casillas on our show last year.
I think he was probably a very selfish type of player. I mean, there's a lot of times where I'd get my name in the paper and he'd, you know, my senior year in college, you know, he'd make comments like, well, I can't even get my name in the newspaper because this Casillas kid's around.
That bother you?
No, it really didn't bother me considering who it was coming from. You know, all the things that he probably said, I think were a bunch of fabricated lies, just enough to sell himself.
Well?
I don't understand that, but, you know, Tony was a great player. He helped me be a great player. And I've always said that even in the papers down there. I said I would never be the kind of linebacker I was if he wasn't as dominating a nose guard as he was. And, you know, I stick by that to this day.
Were you selfish, do you think?
I don't think I was selfish. You know, I didn't, and if I was selfish, that was only because of how naive I was in my situation. But as I grow, you know, you grow through life and you experience life and you learn through things.
See, people forget, though, I think, and we have some tape of you at Oklahoma, how good a football player you really were because of the Boz. It obscured the fact that you were a hell of a player on the field, a Butkus Award winner. People have forgotten that, Boz. Is that a regret for you?
They see the showmanship. They see all the, you know, that's just the guy that's just running. I'm just trying to I just want to destroy this guy. That's all I care about. I'm not playing to the crowd. I don't see anybody other than the guy that I'm fixing to hit, and all I wanted to do was help the Oklahoma Sooners win national championships. That was my only passion. And it was the media as much as it was me that exploited this character, and it was mostly my fault for allowing it to grow to the out of controlness that it did.
It eats at you that you had to leave. I know that you've talked about this, you know, and people don't want to believe, you know, that you cried real tears when you had to leave the game. You couldn't even bring yourself to tell your father, Foster, who was the driving force in your life, until the day you retired. People say, oh, come on, he's got the money. It's $11 million, it's guaranteed. Come on, let's not shed any tears for the Boz, because the Boz doesn't really feel. That's not true.
I wish sometimes I didn't feel, and I wouldn't go through the, you know, now and for the rest of my life the way I am. I'm going to, but you know, to me, the most important thing was playing the game of football. From the day that my dad gave me my first helmet and first football when I was 5 years old, and the day he coached me, until the day I had to stop playing the game, then that day it just hurt me, and I hurt every day, and not just physically but emotionally, because even today, if I could have one wish and I could ask the man upstairs for one thing, I would say, give me back my shoulder so I could go back and play the game.
Brian Bosworth, our guest up close to this world. Brian Bosworth now has